Hello, we're back again today on a bright and early Tuesday. Back working on the side project on my alts plot. I managed to craft a few things that I thought I might could use or incorporate into the build. So we're going to see about adding some more details. I think we'll work a little bit more in the kitchen today. It may go from room to room. It just depends on what I think of at the time and what pieces I have available. But I specifically want to get started on trying to set up those stools that I mentioned. I'm not sure if it's going to be stools or if it's going to be actual chairs, but I did craft some foreign windows, and I wanted to see about using them as a seating, the seats themselves. At first I thought I'd have them flipped over so you couldn't see the orange, but I got to thinking that maybe that would look more like a cushion for the seat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one and what I'm doing is I already have this chair sitting here and I like the size of it. It feels comfortable as far as size-wise and the height of it and all of that. I'm just going to kind of match the size and everything kind of to it. And then once I get one built, then we can kind of just go from there. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing. Anyone that's been with me at all will know that that is pretty much all I ever do is eyeball. I don't so like that's the bottom of it, and then I kind of want to match the way the legs are done. With this. And so I'm going to just use the chair as a guide, but then I have to decide what kind of legs. So probably pillars would be the best. I just don't know color, what would work better with. I don't think we have any like true brown like that. Maybe the Cassian ones would go ahead and work, kind of like metal seats. But then why would you have metal with the wood? I don't know. Chua just looks a little. Yes, it could work. I mean, it's kind of the same coloring. Definitely not that. Let's try a Chua one as a test, and then probably try one of the Exile pillars. I think it might be a little too pale, but we'll see. So what I'll do is I'll just size it down. And one over here. So about what we want it. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in, try and have the leg kind of in the right position, and then we'll turn it, tilt it, like so. That looks okay, I guess. hard to see if it's actually in the thing. Might could get away with keeping it at 10. No. Up at the top, and that looks wrong. 0.08 it is. So then what I'll do is I'll do the same thing for this, and then we'll move the chair and just kind of see what it looks like, what one I want to go with. Again, just kind of eyeball. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, you could do the legs differently if you want them straight up and down. I just thought it might be kind of fun to match it to the one that's already there. Okay, and then we'll just don't sit in it. Checking the position here. Alright, so now we look at it a little closer and see which one looks better. I think even though the Chua ones are actually metal, I think it matches the color of the seat better. Sort of. I don't know. This one matches the shaded part better, and this one doesn't clash too poorly with the lighter side. So I guess it's really just a matter of preference. I'm also looking at, how it shows up against the floor. I don't know. That's a tough call, I think. I think we'll just go with the Exile version. I don't know. It just feels better to use the wood with the wood rather than the metal. That's just, my logic there. If you think the other looks better and you want to make a chair similar, then go with the Chua one. I don't think it's gonna be all that horrible. So grab another one of those, and then we need more. The other legs. And what I'll do is I'll just copy the Chua one. And then see if I can. There we go. And then I don't know what to use for the back. I could try and use, I think it's the Hogel portrait. Picture frame Hogel. I could try this as a back. I could try just another one of the windows as the back. Trying to think if there's any other kind of rounded or rectangular flat shapes that might work. Nothing really comes to mind. I'm sure there is a piece or two, but let's just see how the other window looks. Out of the way there's the window version. Go ahead and put this back. And what I'm going to do is add in the other pillars. And what I'll do is I'll leave the one chair there, and then I'll add in the different style on the other side, and then we can compare how it looks. Probably just as well that I decided to use it with the orange showing, because I only just realized that the orange shows on both sides, similar to, I think it's the pink one that does that too, but the one I was thinking of that only shows it on one side is the colorful one. Colorful windows, if you flip it over, it looks like a flat tabletop, stool top, or whatever. Hard to see. Okay, and then just kind of, if I can get the angle of it right. I'm sure it's not exact. I don't want to get it kind of close. Like the other one's kind of off as well. I'm horrible at these angle bits. Try and get the grid a little better. Something along those lines. That still isn't right. Closer. And this one's a little off because it's not even in the right spot in the bottom. There we go. That matches a lot better than it did. Okay, and then we do that for the final leg. Now this is just a kind of like a cheaty way of figuring out how to do your seats, especially like the legs, and even the angle of the back. I kind of used that as a guide. There's nothing wrong with that if you want to use it in that way. Yeah, I'm even going to turn this, kind of match the angle of the chair here. A little bit better. Okay, so now we take this chair and we're going to turn it like so. And push it here. So there's the one. And then we'll get this one positioned like we want, and then we'll add in a second. So let's see. Window first. Not wing, window. And what I'll do is I'll just copy the bottom one here. And I'll just drag it over. along those lines. And then we'll attempt to use this as the back. Instead of another window, just to see what it looks like. If it ends up looking kind of stupid or dorky, then, or just not to, you know, our taste, then easy enough to change. No biggie. Again, I'm just kind of turning it to match the way the seat is turned. Something like so. Look pretty fancy. I think I will probably go with just the double windows, but we'll wait it out and have a look here in a minute. So we need 4 more exile pillars. Pillar. 4. You hear some loud vehicles. It's, again, the farm. We live right across the street from a herb farm. They make they grow chives and other herby stuff, and chives is what I notice most often because of the smell when they harvested it. It smells like fresh onions. But I think they're fertilizing or something. I don't know what they're doing, but there's been a lot of trucks this morning, and so it's a little bit loud. I have the window closed, so it'll kind of muffle the sound, but it still comes through pretty loud. Just trying to kind of sort of match the angle here. Whoa, every time I get it, I move something else. It ruins it. Really hard to see if it's in the right spot. Okay, something like that. It doesn't look right, does it? Again, it doesn't have to be exact. It's just general kind of close. You want it pretty close because I don't know. I think it might look odd if the legs aren't angled just so. Notice I'm not really paying attention to how they're turned. If I wanted to get really picky about it, I probably could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try and disregard how they're turned. You know, the feet. I figure they're small enough that most won't, you know, go in for the close-up on the. And if they do and see that it's kind of squirrely, well, oh well. That's also very hard to see with the arrows hanging everywhere. It's so tough. But I can't see. This is where like a floating kind of camera where you can like get right into it and no biggie. I don't know, something like that. Really tough to out. Last one. Now I thought about doing 4 of these chairs. I think I'm just gonna leave it at the 2 because in the derriere. But it's my own fault because I'm looking to do everything as custom as possible. So now I gave myself the task, and then I have to kind of deal with it. In, out, over. Something like that. Okay, so now we'll move the chair off again. And yeah, I think I definitely like the 2-window version. Yes, the back of it shows here. If I really wanted to get picky, I could go ahead and craft up a couple of the colorful foreign windows and slap that on the back here to cover that up, but I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I think it's okay. So what I'm going to do is put out the other window. I don't think it'll work with the copy paste, but I'll go ahead and try it anyway. Maybe I can at least get the angle the same. And we'll place that, and then let's see, that's 0.23. And we'll just oh, you're gonna be kidding me. Okay, so, oh, for crying out loud. All over the place. Go way over here. I can stop myself before she was in there. So we'll send to, no, we don't want to delete it. We want to send it to Craig. There we go. Sometimes it's a blessing to have non-functional decor, I tell you. That can get pretty annoying. Okay, so there's the 2 seats for the little kitchen dining thing. Okay, I thought I might try and make a toaster. How exactly I'm going to do that, I'm not sure. So I figured it would have to be some kind of a container, so I made myself an airtight one to give it a try. The only thing that's unfortunate is this is kind of more of a square than a kind of like a rectangle thing, which most people kind of associate with the shape of a toaster. But we'll see if we can get it to work anyway. And let's see. Need something that is dark for the top to kind of make it like a hole, like where you would put the toast. And I figured the Beyond the Fringe things would work well enough. So first I'm going to check, yeah, that's great, okay. And then we'll lower this up a bit. If this actually works well enough, I don't know, but I'll try it anyway. I'm gonna place that there for a second and just made some extra exile lamps. Man, this area just needs some light. Let me see if I can hide this but still get the light from it. That looks bad. Let me see on the outside, make sure it's not poking out. Looks to be okay. I'll probably have to do that in several places just to kind of bring some extra light to the place, because it really is dark. Of course, now that I let go of it, I'm going to have to figure out where that was. A lot of floors. Come on, come on, come on. No. Oh. Probably the last one. I don't know if it registers like, okay, well, not that one. I'm gonna leave it exposed just a little bit so that I can select it whenever I want. But I'm going to add another one on the other side. That really is so dark in here. Somewhere around here. That way it brightens up the room, but doesn't feel like super dark. And again, I'll probably do it in other places. That looks a little better in the kitchen. There's just like some dark, shadowy areas. I'll probably enlarge this a bit. Yeah, that brightens up the whole room a little better. A little shadow here and a little bit. Not too bad. Okay, because the spotlights here don't really give off that much light because of how high I have them. I'm not even sure if they're really required, but we'll pretend. And that's still blinking out of existence every now and then. That's really weird. Okay, back to the toaster. Gotta quit getting distracted there. Oops. I might not be thick enough. Because I know the toast itself is pretty darn thick. I hate to use like 3 of these for each little hole. Because again, you know, that's extra decor. So let me see. Do we have anything else that we can use? Let me check out the wall. Don't want the wall itself necessarily, but maybe the little bit here, if I can find one that's kind of dark. like the Cassian one. That might work better. Let's try one of those. If I can size it down and it still be a lot bigger than the poster, that would be ideal. Matter if it's gonna be big enough. That over. No. It's not much bigger, but gonna be about the same, I think, unfortunately. So we'll just go with the posters. Looking at about where it is. So we need four more posters. There's 2 and 3. And you'll see what I'm trying to kind of bake in here. There. Copied something else, yeah. Copied the container rather than the poster. There we go. So there's my kind of like fakey toaster thing. So then I did make myself one piece of toast. And look at that big old hunky thing. It's like huge. Like Texas toast, that's what it reminds me. Oops. There's just always like super huge, super bread. I gotta put it in the right one here. It needs to go a little bit. You know, we want to give it that look like, you know, either getting ready to be put into the toaster or already popped out or something like that. There you go. You got your little toaster. Okay. And yeah, you could probably get even fancier and like add a cord with a little plug-in thing. But we're just gonna keep him like he's, you know, battery operator or something. I don't know. Let's see. Said we were going to put some plates up here. We might as well do that while we're here. And first, I always like to, I'll probably let's just put 3. And the way I do it, if I'm going to stack plates, first I size them. This is like, it's like platter size, so we need to drop that down a bit. And I don't know what size I normally use, but 0.5 is pretty good. Nice meal plate. So what I do is then I take off the advanced mode so I can just kind of slap it right on the surface of the shelf there. And once you get that one positioned, then you can go back to the advanced mode, and I look at the positioning height-wise, and then it's at 710 at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I think it's an offset of 3 that I can do. Oh, that's high. Maybe it's just 1. Yeah, just 1. And that gives you that little distance to make it look like, you know, a stack of plates. So then you just copy the topmost and do it again, just offset it by 1. And you have a nice, well, that one did well. I say that and then it doesn't work that way. There we go. There's some plates, and then maybe some glasses. Not that kind of glass. Some glasses that are empty. I really want something that'll show up good back there, so I'm not sure. I am going to try and kind of do a homage to Stanos' blender, so I'm going to put one of them there. But no, I don't want anything super pricey. Let's see, let me just go to the cookware stuff. That might be easier. Not the beer cans. Not really seeing where I want something that's yeah, the chili cups would probably be okay. They're pretty dark. Oof, they're pretty big too. Just put one here. And I'll put down a wine bottle and another wine bottle, just give a little variety. I could do a wine rack. That is one option. I've seen a lot of versions of those, but I don't think we'll get into that for this particular build. We'll just size this down just so that it's not sticking up to the cabinet there. Same with this one. Just to kind of give some indication that there's things in this little. Again, just copy, paste. There we go. So the blender. First, we need some kind of a base that it's sitting on. So let's look at what we got for containers. I didn't think about crafting anything for this specifically, so we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe since we have it. Now I could have went to the trouble of opening one of these cabinet doors, just like I did with the top one here. But again, I felt like it would be weird if I had like one of each type of cabinet or drawers or anything open. You don't want to overdo that. So it's better if you just do that like in one thing. Like I could have had the fridge open so you could see inside that, and you could have had, you know, this cabinet open, and maybe the closet thing open. But you don't really want to overdo that. It kind of gets old and weird. Kind of guessing about how big this needs to be. But yeah, this idea goes completely to Stanos. We toured his house either last week or the week before, I can't remember now. And they had a nice little blender kind of thing going on. I don't really recall all the parts. The main thing I remember is the glass in the bowl part, but past that, I couldn't tell you. I think they had some fruit inside it to kind of give an extra indication of what it was, but I don't know what the base was. I couldn't tell you offhand. I'd have to go revisit. Let's see, looking for, apparently I don't have any electronics at all. Let's hop on here. Ideally, I would want something that would like indicate like 3 buttons, because you like have a low, medium, high kind of thingy. But I don't think I'm gonna be that lucky to have something along those lines. So could use lever switches maybe, although they'd be like super tiny. So I'm going to see how this might look. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use any of this. Right here. It looks so bored. She's just like, working in the kitchen, as always. Again, I don't know if this is going to work very well, but I'm going to try it. And let's see if we can use another one. I don't know if I'm going to get away with flipping it, sort of, but we'll see. I think it's going to look a little weird with that bit sticking out there. See, ideally I would, you know, have it like 3 little bits here. I don't know, maybe that'll look okay by something here to cover that up. That looks off of it. Let's try another one. I really feel like there should be 3 buttons. I don't know why. It makes sense to me to have the 3 buttons, or the 3 switches, or however you want to say it. looks a little weird having the 3 dots as well, so I'm just gonna tuck those down. Just enough. And then maybe final one, like so. Move him up here. And then we'll fade him like so. I don't know, make it look like it's an extension of this thing so that maybe it's got a mixer bowl on the side. That might work. You ever seen those combo blender mixer thingamabobs? Although I think they more likely switch out what you use on it. Let's see. While I'm thinking of it, I think my blender needs a cap top. You don't want to. Let's try this. Oh, that's bright. Flatten him out a bit. Up.
Better them than me. Oh wait, that was me.
Yep, that was you, Homer. Something like so. Starting to come together pretty good. Looking at like positioning, if it looks like it's a little off. I don't think that's like exactly centered. Hard to center stuff, that's for sure. Drag it down a bit. That looks. Let me just pop it up. There you go. You got the blender top. You know, you have to have the cover on it. And let's see. I don't know what the thing will be. We'll just we'll just leave it like that. We don't know what it is. Let's see. What else? What else do we think about putting in here? As far as the herb garden thing, I think. Let's see what kind of grasses we got. Yeah, it probably would cryo, but I'm pretty good, happy with where it is, so I'll leave it. But that is a good suggestion. Cryo says to try copy pasting the glass measurements to the plate, and they should line up just so. I want like a small clump of green grass. I think and I don't know what that was, something popped in my mouth. I guess we'll try this. Ugh. Oh, that doesn't look good. like way too big. And if I make it smaller, I think you won't see the leaves. Let's try under bushes. Because we don't have any of those. No, 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 no. Yeah, here we go. We'll put a couple of these. Just to kind of help fill in some of this. It looks a little barren. Move these over. Maybe. I don't know what they're supposed to represent. Maybe hives or some kind of oniony plant. I don't know. Let's see. Probably too big like that, but I'll slap him over here. Almost looks like a lettuce head. That's what it reminds me of anyway. So, then we'll copy, paste. There we go. There's like some kind of, I don't know, herb garden thingy for the kitchen. Don't have an actual bowl of fruit. That I think you win that from. I know it's a housing challenge. I'm trying to think which one. I want to say it's the cubic challenge where you bounce on the pigs. Oh, Cryo was wanting to know how I made the earth here. These are basically just sandbags. I think it took 5 to fill up the whole trough or tray there. It's just sandbags head to head. It's a really nice way of getting kind of some lumpy ground. You know, you could even use them for like a round container if you shrunk them down small enough and use them and kind of like just lined them up like in a little fan. Okay. You can do that. Other things that I've used for dirt is the bowls. Show what I'm talking about. The bowls that kind of have the grass on the ones on the inside. If you flip them over, they too have kind of an earthy. I've used these for like freshly dug graves. Same with the sandbags. I've also, for more like you're not really concerned about it being lumpy dirt, you can use the I think it's the Draken walls. The only thing you have to contend with those is they do have that trim on the end that all walls have, which I wish they didn't, but I used that on a guildmate's build that I did for him, the gazebo, the little plant trays that we had on the edges of it. That's actually Draken walls. I want to say floors because I use those as floors, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that you do for dirt, but those sandbags is one of my favorite because they're kind of lumpy and they have that, you know, more natural feel. It's good if you want to kind of, like I say, make it like look like freshly filled in graves, or working in the garden and you have your little giant spoon that's acting as your shovel, and you know, that kind of thing. I did that with the miniature golf park, where the little proto guy was putting in some plants. Anyway, as I was going to say, is I don't really have the fruit bowl that comes pre-made, pre-stuffed with fruit. I used to have like tons of those because I would do the challenge all the time, and that was like ages ago. But um, so any that I have learned or put into my crate, it's on my main. So my alts have been neglected. They don't get all the nice little goodies. I have to kind of remind myself, send it to the alt, send it to the alt, just to give them some stuff to play with. So we'll just put one together, I think. And since the pre-made fruit bowl, I think, actually uses this, we'll use a different one, just change it up. Like, way big. And let's see, I guess we need some bananas. We'll just... I like odd numbers, so we'll do 3. $3,279 few fruit bowls. You could start a business selling the fruit bowls. That's kind of how I did it in the beginning. I didn't really sell the massive trees from it because I think you had better luck than me, because that thing never dropped for me. I always, usually if I'm going for a specific item from a challenge, I always end up getting the renown or the junkie item. I hardly ever get the one that I'm aiming for. Thankfully, I have some generous guildmates that would know that I was trying to get one, and they would, get it for me. But I have the worst luck with those things. It's like the shard spire one where you're jumping up to the top. I'm horrible at jumping anyway, so I had trouble completing the challenge as it was. But to make it worse, every time I did finish it, I never got the thing that I was aiming for. So, which was I think it was the bend plushie. But I had some guildmates that took mercy on me and said, "Here, you can have this one." It was very nice. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of sneak some nanners in here. Probably should put the nanners in the bowl and then move it all up to the top, but figure it's gonna, I think, just kind of all wonky, isn't it? Too big as well. Giant nanners, space nanners. There we go. I think that's okay. I don't think it's sticking out weirdly. I know it might be kind of sunk into the bowl there a little bit, but mostly I'm just wanting it so that they can see it from the top. That one's not gonna have to take. Let's see, maybe some berries. Burr. Let's see, maybe just some fruit. It's cheaper than if I can refrain from spending renown, I do. I use renown for other things. Look at the size of that fruit. I don't know what these are supposed to be, like oranges, or I guess not, since maybe we don't have the same. But that's what it reminds me of, is oranges. did use this particular decor for popcorn one time, and honestly it looked more like dog food. So if you ever have the idea that you want to make a dish for some pets, the hanging fruit works great because it looks just like dog food. I don't know, maybe it's the color. It just looks kind of like spoiled fruit. It's like brown and bleh. And but yeah, I made an indoor like a movie theater thing, and I was trying to make popcorn, and at the time you couldn't really size things down beyond the 0.20 size, so you just kind of had to work with whatever you got. And at the time, so because of that, I wouldn't have been able to use the treasure pile like I did more recently for the miniature golf park snack bar. So I was left with, you know, trying to use something else, and I used the hanging fruit. I had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those things all shrunk down so it was like super little tiny, you know, fruit pieces, and then I had to fill the bowl up, and I think it was one of these bowls in fact, and it looked like dog food, but I left it because that was the best I could come up with at the time. Looks weird because that one little nubbin is sticking out. I don't know, something like that. It's just a hint of like some kind of food or something. Okay, let's see. So got the chairs. Oh, right. I wanted to see about doing some kind of a clock. I have an Orin clock. I don't know. It looks okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, I just wanted to try and come up with my own stuff, or at least modify the existing. So what I'm going to see is there's some way I can kind of change this up a bit. I don't know. I need something for the wall, and a clock sounded good, and I don't like the look of it. But I have absolutely no idea what I might use instead. What does it look like on the back? Dynamite clock, cheese clock. I don't know. I guess I'll leave it for now. I'll revisit that probably. Let's see. Okay, so I was thinking yesterday afternoon what kind of things one might find on like a shelf of this nature. You know, obviously books would probably be a big thing. Trophies, plushies. A lot of those are things that I just don't have a lot of. Excuse me. Maybe we can put the Google picture here and make it like standing portraits rather than hanging on the wall. I'm just looking through to see if there's anything that I can throw out. Because again, I'm trying to avoid using stuff just as they are. I prefer to. That's why I'm probably going to revisit that clock, because I really don't like it. Let's see. Straighten that up again. Make sure it's square first, and then we'll adjust it. I'll turn it. Tilt it. And we'll do the same with this one. Whoa, 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 whoa. 90 maybe? No. Maybe. I want to 90. Okay, so then we turn it just a little bit. Size that down as well. We don't want all the pictures to be the same size. And I know that most probably, again, won't notice this, but I'm going to go ahead and put Figure 4 on there. Wow, this is... I can get it right. Where is that thing? It's so hard to see because it's small. There we go. And I know most people won't notice, but it feels like it needs something back there because you can kind of see behind it. Maybe not so much this one, but for sure that one. Feels like it needs something back there. Okay, what else? What else can we put there? Books. Alchemist books is always fun because it's, you know, comes as a little stack. But I think we'll just use a regular stack rather than a big one. I think these are some nifty looking pots, but I still haven't found any specific use for them because most of my stuff it doesn't call for. I figure, you know, maybe somebody could do like an archaeological dig. Got around cordon off and they're finding all these nifty artifacts. That would be cool. Just looking at different containers to see if there's anything that looks interesting. No. Okay, and the books, they're obviously too big. Off to the side here. Let's see, and I got to thinking about this the other day. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that there. May, in fact, I think I'll just give it and do something different. Put this cabinet here. Let's see, what can we do? A little too close. Too close for comfort. Checking to make sure it's not sticking out. That pointed end on the back always funny. I just want to make a double wide kind of dresser. That seems okay. And I definitely need to have something here to cover up my funky herbs there. I've also thought, you know, do I want to add some kind of, do I want to duplicate this over here instead of using the two pieces and then add some kind of another door? Do that. Let's see. You know what? I definitely think I want to duplicate this rather than keeping it the small two pieces. It doesn't make sense to have that uneven to me. What we'll do is copy these, and I'm just gonna make this as long a little better. I'll probably check it once it's placed anyway. Feels like it's lagging up again. Yeah, that looks a little better, I think. I don't know what's causing the lag like that, but it's plenty irritating. So this was at 8:38. That's good. Yeah, that's okay. So we'll get rid of this one. And this one here. Yeah, that looks better. What I could do is move this to the center of the wall here. But, you know, maybe I add something else extra, some shelving, some more shelving. Like here, I'll probably add a shelf or two for like maybe the detergents and stuff, that kind of thing. Might add another table like this over here. I probably need to add some kind of a, I don't know. I was saying before that I'd use these, like, I don't know if you've seen those toilets. Ours is kind of like that, where the pusher is almost kind of hidden on the top of the toilet, and it's just a little section of it that you depress. And I was thinking that that's what these could be like. I don't know, people might not get that, so they might miss that there's not a flusher handle kind of thing. So I could, oops, not handle, hammer, just to kind of put something there. I don't know, does that look like how a handle would be? I don't know. Looks weird. Maybe better if it's this way. Oh, lag is really messing with the positioning here. Something like that. Doesn't look right. Come on. We'll get it here in a second. There we go, something like that. Like a little pusher thing. Let me check and see if that's going with this line here. No. Well, maybe. Is that? No. Just my imagination. I'll get stuck by the swing. Okay, so I could end up duplicating this over here. Just I don't know why this feels like it needs to be mirrored all over the place, but I don't know, it just has that feel. And then come up with something for here. I'm gonna hide that grassy stuff sticking. Maybe a big picture. But of course I wouldn't want to just use the picture as it is. I'd want to make it up itself. Me and my weird stuffs. Let's see. I hate to use those. That looks like a weird woman face back, doesn't it? And this doesn't really show up very good against wood. I'll have to, oh, for crying out loud. Probably craft some stuff or find some stuff that will work. Definitely don't want to use the calendar. The calendar's weird in itself, and those. I hate using the renowned as well. This looks odd. I don't know. I'll have to think that on that a little bit more, longer, more. One of those. Anyway, if I do go ahead with the double cabinets or dressers or however it is, that would be a good place to put another lamp of some sort, more lighting, especially here, since this seems to be pretty lit up already. I think that's mostly because of the sconce out here, though. So once the sconce is removed, this is going to really need some light. So I think that'll give me a good excuse to put like a table lamp up there. I will probably mirror what I have here, just maybe make them smaller, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I'll leave them the same. So let's go ahead. I think these actually cost, yeah, renowned. So again, I don't want to do that a lot. While I have the renown to spend, I don't want to just do it all the time. But I do like the look of these. Let's see about where we are. Pretty close. Oops. Copy. Right again, copy. Paste. There we go.
Better them than me.
Oh, Homer, you're so noisy. It looks like a double line there. And that's a single line. So which do I like better? Single, double, single, double. Let's go with this. I like when things can blend like that to make it look like it's already a piece that comes that way. Interesting, I find. Okay, so let's see, it's the hanging lamp. What are those? And bowls and the top thingies. So metal bowl, not that one. Well, copper bowl, there we go. And then I think it was the orange dome. Really big. Okay, that looks like, well, I'm not going to say what that looks like. So we'll start with the bowls first. Really annoying to work with the with the lag. Like probably what would solve it is if I just log out and log back in, but I'll log out for good today. I'm not quite ready to go yet. Okay, and then I'm going to check about where I've got that inset. Like the first cookie part. Like so. And then dome might actually be so big that I can't have it as close up against as I want. What I'll probably do is shrink it down some, the whole thing. Wow. Stepped right over there. Yeah, because that's gonna like stick outside the wall there. What we'll do is we'll just make it smaller. But we're going to try. It may not work, but we're going to try it. Just linking it all together and sizing it that way. This. Just right up against it. I mean, it's just a little bit. We'll do this a little bit. That looks better. Now to get that over here, what we'll do is we'll copy. And again. And final time. Yeah. Now with these smaller, they don't give off as much light, obviously, but I think it's still enough that it's okay. There we go. So we got the bigger ones for the bed area, and then we got the smaller ones for the dresser parts. Let's see. Copy. You don't realize what I'm doing. I'm just kind of changing up how I had that light there. See if I can hide it like I did the one in the kitchen. The easiest way to do that is copy it and drag it where I need to. Oops, did I move the wrong one? I sure did, didn't I? Okay, that's just maybe because it's off into the pole here. Plus, maybe I should just let's see. Size is 56, and then to. Just to give, you know, some light here. And we'll have to do the same here. Six. And 2. That way it still gives some light to the shower, but it also sheds some light here. Just looking about where it is. That's pretty good. And what I'll probably do is once I'm satisfied with the lighting, as far as the hidden ones specifically, then I'll tuck those in so that you don't even see the nubbin. Really not a big deal if the nubbin is left, because I don't think a lot of people will notice it anyway, but I think it'd be just better if I hide them. Let's see, if I move this out here. Yeah, because that really helps highlight some of the areas a little better. Like I'll probably put an extra one of some kind here. Don't know if that's going to work well because for this, the ends, they have that extra beam to kind of hide it. Here it might be a little different. We'll see. Maybe I can figure out something else to act as a light source here. Or maybe just leave them in dark. I don't know. Okay, so got quite a bit in the kitchen. I'm getting to where I'm pretty happy with that. Except for the clock. I don't like the clock. I'm gonna note that down. Kitchen clock. Work out something. I already fashioned one clock out of, I think it was the Ichthian landing pad, and then I used the neon signs to act as the arms of the clock, hands. And I've used, in the past, I used a piece of toast and put like, I think it was the pointy draken totems as the hands for that, to make it look like a kitchen themed clock. But we'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Could try to fashion a grandfather clock here, but that seems kind of too fancy for a kitchen. That would belong better in like a grand living room of some kind. So I wrote down kitchen clock. I'll look at some pieces and see if there's anything I can craft or buy straight from the vendor that I can use to build that. But beyond that, I think the kitchen is pretty much okay. The only other thing that I might consider doing is putting in some kind of a rug or carpet throw kind of thing. I'm really not sure that's appropriate in the kitchen, though I've seen some people have that. I'm definitely probably going to do something like that for here, some kind of a rug. Now I know we have rugs that we can use, like got the Primera one, and then got the ones you can get straight off the vendor here. But I really don't like the look of any of them, and I would like the fun of trying to design my own. So I'm going to note that down as well. Bedroom rug. What I'll do is I'll just kind of brainstorm later over what kind of items I might try to use, because one thing for the rug here, I probably will have the advantage of being able to sink a little bit into the floor rather than having to for sure use something that's purely flat. I'm gonna need some more wall items and shelf items. And I'll go through, maybe I'll see if there's some that I can get from some challenges that I normally don't make a point to do, but I might if I can grab a hold of some nifty things. But I'm definitely going to try and figure out some things that I can actually build. Maybe my own versions of trophies, something like that. I'm not sure. And we'll figure that out. For the bathroom, again, I wouldn't mind if I can come up with some kind of a floor rug, specifically here, but maybe in front of here as well, a matching set kind of thing. I could even get fancy and do the same around the sink area and around the toilet. You know, you've got those little rugs around those particular locations. So we're going to say bathroom rugs. And probably a couple of shelves at least. Shelves. And something else for this corner here. Probably another table. Maybe some more plants. I don't know why I want the plants in the bathroom. Maybe a fern would go nicely here because the ferns like the steamy air or whatever. I could include some kind of plants here. Potted plants. So we'll think about that. Beyond all of those bits, though, I think we're getting pretty close to being done with the interior. I want to keep it basic. I mean, I want it nice looking and, you know, cover all the bases, but I don't want to overcrowd it. I want to leave it open and basic and simple. Same way with the porch. I don't think I'm really gonna. I may add some kind of potted plants on the outside. I also may include a mailbox, maybe at the foot here somewhere. And then of course, we need to be thinking about how we're going to do the landscape, because we're starting to come down to the itsy gritty bits. We're currently sitting at 728 decor, so I still got a fair amount to work with, which is nice. I'm happy about that, because once you start getting into the landscaping, you really can eat it up real fast when you're adding in plants and rocks and things like that, trees and whatever. So more than likely, let's see, today's Tuesday, so that means tomorrow we'll be doing housing tours, so we won't be working on the house then, but probably Thursday or Friday we'll start finishing up the interior, and then really starting to look at what we're going to do with the landscaping out here. I'm still kind of up in the air. I probably won't make a final decision until we get to it, but we'll see how that goes. Just curious. about, it would look different if I rotate these, give it a little variety in the roofing. Might break up the sameness of that same little glitch there. So I'm gonna put roof tweak. Rotate pillars. I'm making all these notes right now because I'm probably going to be wrapping it up here very shortly. Oops. Oh. Well, it's there anyway, didn't Anyway, just to kind of not have it look the same, where it's like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I noticed that earlier on and I just forgot to kind of change it up, but I think I will be doing that. The main thing is this, having it kind of like whirly-giggy all over the place. I may set it back, I don't know. For now, we'll just leave it, and I'll think on it a little more. But then, of course, the landscaping. I have to decide, is there going to be water? And if there is, then I need to figure out how I'm going to make the water. If I'm just going to use the glass, blue glass, and a couple of layers of that to kind of darken it up. I know that, especially for a big area, and it may even be for the small one, but the more layers you give, the brighter the color, but it also kind of looks like foggy water, like ghostly water. It doesn't look blue anymore. It looks more like white blue, and I don't want that. So but again, I want to keep with easy to obtain or readily viable kind of items. So I'm not going to be using like the standing display screen that you can get. Not going to be using tiny crystals or anything like that. So we'll just have to kind of see how I do that. My original idea was this was going to be on stilts, and this whole area beneath it was going to be water, and I was going to have it, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like in this section here around it, be like a pond, swampy, not swampy, but a body of water, and then it'd be like a little river lake kind of thing leading to the entryway, and then the sides be built up like canyon walls, or maybe just filled with trees so thick that you can't get through them, or really see too much through them. So that the only way to get to and fro is to swim to the thing. But I thought about using, maybe crafting up a boat that you could use, or a little raft or something that you would, in theory, use to get to and fro. But I think that might be a little too out of my field of comfort there. So what we'll do is probably keep it a little bit more simple. But we'll see. I'm still up in the air on that, so I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate those that have been dropping by to watch while I do this, and giving suggestions and ideas, and just overall keeping me company. I hope these videos come in handy for some folks, even if it's just a matter of giving them some inspiration of things that they could build themselves. That's really the point of these. So again, reminder, tomorrow 1 p.m. CET time, we will be doing some tours, and I think Let's see. I'm trying to remember which one we saw last week. Yeah, last week was the Dominion side with Chris and Viana and Thanos. So this week will be Exiles. And I haven't even picked out the ones that we're going to be visiting yet. I've been so busy with the summer stuff. My son's home for the summer, so I've been doing a lot of things with him. And of course, I've been doing my walking a little extra in the morning because it's getting to where it's too warm to walk in the afternoons, which is usually my favorite time to walk. So I had to shift it for the summer months to the morning time. That's why I start a little later in the mornings. But tomorrow, Exiles, housing tours, I'll have at least 3 or 4 that we'll go and visit. If I feel up to it, I may return here afterwards and we'll do a little bit more work. But I'm not going to promise. It depends on so much. Depends on how long it takes us to get through the homes that I'm going to showcase. So we'll see how that goes. But for sure, 1 p.m. CET time tomorrow will be the Exile home tours, and then Thursday and Friday we'll come back and see about putting in the final details on that. As well, tomorrow is the 1st of July, so that means there will be a new CBDC, which is the Custom Built Decor Challenge for my guild, which means I will also be looking into starting another project for that. I haven't announced what the theme is going to be yet, so that's going to remain a secret until tomorrow for sure, but once it is made public to my guildmates, then we'll start talking about ideas on what we could possibly put together for that. And so that should be fun. Always like keeping projects going, just to kind of keep spurring the imagination and everything. And even though this one isn't completely done, it will give me a break from it if we go switch to the other project and take turns and keep things a little interesting. Anyway, I appreciate you coming, taking a look. If you haven't followed yet and would like to catch me live, then be sure and do follow, because that will give you the opportunity to get notified when I do go live. Otherwise, I archive everything, so you can find them in the highlights section on my channel, Twitch channel, or you can also alternatively hook up with all of the broadcast here and older videos from like beta and things on my YouTube channel, and the links to those are on my channel page. I think that's it. Have a good day. Try not to get too brought down by the heat. Some people thrive in it, but for people like me, I'm not very good in the heat. I just kind of turn into a sloth mode and don't want to do anything. But I hope everyone stays cool and enjoys their day, whether it's at work, at play, or whatever. Until tomorrow, see you later. Bye-bye.